Oh gosh. All right. Hello, welcome to the first episode of YA Hangout. I'm one of your hosts, Amy Lee Strickland.
And hi, I'm Amy Evans. I'm so excited to be here with you guys tonight.
And we're here with Misty Provencher. Misty is our first guest, so she gets to tolerate all of our technical difficulties on this first episode. If you're coming to us from YA Podcast, welcome. And if you're not, YA Podcast, you should go check it out. It's part of our network. So, let's start by announcing our giveaway and what you need to do to get involved in that. So, Misty, do you want to let them know what you're giving away?
I don't even remember what I said.
All right, well, I do have a note here. So, Misty is here to promote her new book, is it Hail Marie or Halle Marie?
Neither. It's Hail Mary.
Hail Mary.
I knew that.
That makes sense because it's like the Hail Mary. Okay. So Misty is here to promote her
guest, so she gets to tolerate all of our technical difficulties on this first episode. You're coming to us from YA Podcast, welcome, and if you're not...
Oh, hang on. Is it me? Nope.
Check it out. It's part of our network.
Is one of us apparently had the link to the show open. Well, things we learn. So, Hail Mary, and you can, if you've read the first book, we've got a choice here. You can enter to win an ebook of Hail Mary or Full of Grace. So those are two different books that it will be winner's choice. And what you need to do to enter is tweet during this show with the hashtag YA Hangout. So this is the
Hey,
first.
Misty.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about, I love the titles of these books. They just like totally grab me, and it's such a unique way to name a series. Can you tell us about these?
Yes, I want to make it really clear. This is not a religious book, and it's not any commentary on the Catholic religion or anything. What happened was when I quit my job to start writing full-time, I was kind of like, okay, I need this to work. I need this to, I need to launch myself. And I was talking to Michelle Layton, and she was telling me, I said, Michelle, it's like, I just don't know if this is going to work. I don't know how it's going to work. And she said, you know what? I had my Hail Mary book. And she said it was, I just threw everything out there and I just made it work. And she said, I wrote what I loved and it worked for me. That was Wild Ones. So I said, Hail Mary. So it kind of stuck in my head for days. And then I thought, gosh, this is going to be my Hail Mary book. It's going to be the thing that I just throw everything out and see if it works. And that's how it came about.
So we're
like
talking
a Hail Mary
about the
pass.
Hail Mary pass rather than the Hail Mary full of grace, Lord is with thee. All
Yeah.
right.
Full of grace.
That's
kind
awesome.
Of fit. So.
Do people think it's a Catholic book?
I had somebody say that I've had a couple of comments, on like, and I had a couple people that came and said, well, I thought it was going to be something, religious, and it's like, sorry, it's not. It's sexy and hot.
Oh dear.
I just want
That's
to clarify,
wanna-
you write across multiple genres. This is one of your older titles, and you have your Cornerstone series, and you have the Fly House, which is your dragon book, which I'm a little bit partial to. And those so you write for everyone.
Yes. I do.
Do you find issues with when you cross over and write for different audiences, with audiences expecting something and being disappointed because, they read your YA and then they read your dragon book and they weren't the same, or age appropriateness, any of those kind of issues?
I don't get too much of the age appropriateness, which I'm kind of surprised at because I thought I would. If anything, I had some people who, because I don't want to give anything away. It's like the Cornerstone series, though, they kind of wanted it to be like more, I think, adultish or new adultish, and it's a YA book, so I had to keep it YA. So I had people that wanted it to be more new adult. So then I went in and I wrote some new adult, and I don't know. I mean, it's funny because I do fantasy and I do new adult, and I kind of switch. Like I'll do one, and then I'll do the other, and so I think it kind of throws people off sometimes. I have some great, just I guess my hardcore people, my hardcore readers that stick with me, but then I've got some that kind of go, "What are you doing?" You know, it's like, write another fantasy book or write another romance. What are you doing this other stuff for?
Well, I'm a fan of your Cornerstone series for sure, and I can see where people they want a little bit more. Like it's really sweet and it's lovely. So if you like your style of writing and you like the work, then I can see where you're like, can I just have them kiss more, please? I'd like to see what you. Please.
I mean, I thought, I got to the last book and I was like, it's getting hot in here. You know, I thought at the time I have a daughter who was young adult, and I was like, would I want her reading all this? You know, but then I have people that write me and say their kids read it, and I guess I don't know, goody two-shoes.
I tend to find when I write new adult, I'm like, my mom is going to read this. So maybe I guess that's the same idea. My mom versus my 16-year-old, which would I be okay with reading this?
You know what's really sick? My mom insists on like reading over all the books. So she has read all my sex scenes. It's disturbing. We don't talk about it at Thanksgiving. It's like pretend that no one has read anything here.
I think that's the trickiest part about writing, and I think it's coming up more and more for all of us because, you know, with all of the advantages that can come with self-publishing and can come with the ability to market yourself as 5 different people, as exhausting as that could be, it's certainly possible now. Yeah, I know, I'm tired just thinking about it, but we all, you know, we have the opportunity to write YA and NA and some sexier stuff, and some people do that under multiple pen names, and some people are just like, I'm going to make sure my readers know what it is, and I'm okay with it. And for me, it all works, but I often have the same kind of conundrum, like, do I want my daughter reading this, or do I want my mom reading this, or, you know.
But don't you love the freedom, too?
Yes.
Definitely, because a lot of authors who are published traditionally would be finding that their publisher would say, no, you write young adult, I'm not going to publish the steamy romance novel.
Yeah.
Right.
What a shame.
I also grew up, I loved YA always. I never stopped reading it. I gobbled it up from the moment I was like 11 until like this year. And I also always read, my mom would get tired of paying for library fines, so she would just start handing me her, and I think this was in like 4th grade, and her books were like Queenie and, you know, Barbara Taylor Bradford and Danielle Steele. And so I grew up reading sex scenes at a very early age, and they did not make me promiscuous or anything like that. So I'm constantly torn at, like, wait a minute, this kind of all worked out really well for me, but how do I feel about my daughter? I don't know. I don't even know if my mother even considered it. She just, like, didn't want to pay the library fines, and I was happy to be reading.
Yeah, I grew up with, you know, the Harlequin romance compilation in the bathroom basket, and I didn't turn out to be some kind of deviant, so I think we just need to trust that if we talk to our kids about our expectations, then they can be exposed to a little more than we give them credit for.
Yeah.
I think that's a good way to look at it. So,
yeah.
What was you saying?
Oh, I was going to say I grew up with Steinbeck and Shakespeare, and it's like, you know, I didn't have a chance.
You didn't murder your uncle, so I guess you turned out okay.
Exactly.
Awesome. So I think we're about to go look. Misty, you also have some sick design skills, don't you? I think.
Okay.
Well, you do. You've done some of your covers. I don't know that you've done all, but I know you did some, right?
Well, my latest covers, I am so proud of, and it's like I didn't do them.
Right.
They were done by a friend of mine, Violet Duke, and it's like, yeah, right there.
So this is the Violet Duke art, just as a reminder for people. It's beautiful. Okay.
Both the Crossed and Bared series is from her, and I I was amazed. I mean, when she sent me these covers, and I was like, oh my gosh, you know, I could have never come up with that. I love it.
YA as a genre, I think, tends to have really beautiful covers.
Yeah, I agree.
House.
I did do Fly House. Actually, I had help. Starla Hutchton, I have to shout out mad props to her because she sat on the phone with me. It's like I was doing it on my computer and I was like, oh man, I run into this problem and that problem. So I was on the phone with Starla and she's like, okay, here's what you do to do this and here's what you do. So thank God for Starla because she helped me through like teaching me some of the tricks, I guess. Yeah. I mean,
she's amazing. Her cover for her, she's doing a Snow White retelling that's gender bent, which I'm so excited for. And that cover is like one of my favorite covers of fall.
Well, you know, I loved. She told me about. Oh, and I don't know if I can say it, so I'm not going to. But she told me about one of her titles, and I know she just brought out the first title in that series, and she told me that title, and I was like, oh, and I didn't think of it first.
Yeah, she's great, and she bailed us out on the Ocean Books box set, and she did a knockout job. There's so many phenomenal cover artists. It's so hard. Like I worked with the same one forever, but there's so many. I see them, and then I see like people's pre-mades, and I'm like, I just want to write a book to play with that cover. They're like inspiration.
And I think, you know, the key thing when you're picking one of those artists is you find somebody who does work you like, but then you got to find somebody who you like to work with.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, definitely.
Because there are a lot of pretty talented cover artists out there that are too expensive or too hard to get a hold of or slow or difficult, and you need to get somebody who's good to work with and who's going to be able to do what you want. Especially as an independent publisher, there's no reason why we should have to take a cover somebody gives us on if we don't like it.
Definitely.
So do we have some covers to show off?
We do. The first one, we're doing our Cover Crush feature, and the first one is Misty Provencher's Hail Mary.
Aww.
So this is her pick for Cover Crush, which, you know, as she didn't design it, I don't think it's not tooting her own horn. You know, she paid for this, so she must love it.
Well, actually, she did me a favor.
So, do you want to tell us about the process of what went into, like, how much did you give your cover artist, and how much was just?
Well, it's a friend of mine. She's an author. You might know her. She's New York Times bestselling author, and she was a friend when I lost my agent and I released Cornerstone. She was one of the people that started talking to me, and I knew her under a different name because Violet Duke is her pen name. But we started talking back then, and then on and off we've talked here and there. I mean, just tweeting and stuff, and then she popped up this year, and she was just out of the blue. She was like, hey, how have you been doing? We started talking, and I said, you know, I don't know about these covers. You know, I wanted to do something new and different, and she's like, let me do it for you. And I was just blown away. This Violet Duke is just one of the most amazing, generous, kind. I mean, I know some really good ones, and I was just like, she put so much into that, and for nothing, and she just wanted to help me because we had known each other way back. So.
Well, you can tell. The cover's amazing. It tells the right story. It's sexy. It doesn't look like everything else on the market,
I think
but it tells. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, so
rocking the graphics.
Yeah, so let's quickly talk about from an art school perspective too. What's great about this is I've seen a lot of beautiful photographs and beautiful designs that have, frankly, crap text put over them. And the fonts chosen here are really readable from a distance. They're really beautiful and crisp. They're not distracting to the design. And then you have this photograph that has beautiful light. I mean, check out those shadows cast from those high heels. You've got a story and a mood in your head. So it's a really, really great cover. And it's not like every other picture of the covers that came out last year where the photo was cropped from here down with a giant flowing dress behind and way too many swirlies in the font. It's different.
Thanks.
Or abs. I mean, we see a lot of abs.
Yes. Now, not that we mind the abs.
No, we don't mind the abs.
More abs,
But
please.
this book stands out. It definitely stands out from a cover perspective, and I know it stands out inside.
All
You
right.
guys are so nice. Oh, and I want to give one other shout out, and this is really important. It's Colleen Blackstone's book came out, and the reason why it is so near and dear to me, especially because not only do I like Colleen, but my daughter did the cover, and it's an original piece of artwork by my daughter. And
That's amazing.
I had to say it.
No, I've been keeping an eye on Misty's daughter's artwork for a while. I keep hoping that Misty will give her clicks and she'll be inspired to draw me some hot surfer twins or something.
She would do it. She would do it.
I tell you, having family artists is really nice. My cover designer is my sister-in-law, and my comic artist is my brother, and there's nothing like being able to call family and go, hey, I need a graphic.
Very sweet. Very sweet.
I need to write a book about New York City, apparently, because I've got all the photographs you could ever want, and they're phenomenal, but I haven't done that yet.
You need to.
Yeah, I need to.
All right, we want to show our next cover crush entry. This was my pick. It was Dead of Night by Carlisle Labouchaine. I'm guessing that's how you pronounce it. I'm bad with the French pronunciations, despite being French. So, Dead of Night. This is my pick because just like the cover for Hail Mary, it's not the stereotypical girl in a dress cropped at the chin. You've got a real kind of creeping horror tone with the hand on the window and the cracks in glass. And one of the details that I really like here is how you have this text down here that is in perspective with the pane of the window. So I thought that was a really subtle choice that's really nice.
I'm on Carlisle's street team just because I love her to itty bitty pieces, and I think she's a brilliant writer and a brilliant person and a brilliant marketer. And I remember when she was doing a little market testing on the cover, and they were all good. There was no losing with her choices. And I think that that's a really good tip for anybody, whether you're a writer or an author or just somebody who likes to design. If you can find a trusted group of people, and it's kind of like with little kids, you don't want to present them every choice in the world. You don't want to say, hey, what should I have on my cover? Because you'll get 800,000 ideas, and they'll probably all be valid. But if you can give them 2 or 3, if you can give them 2 or 3, you'll really get a great sense. And she did that, and she came out with a real winner.
Oh, yeah.
I've seen some really great feedback coming from people on the Utopia and the Indilicious group on Facebook, just people who give really insightful comments that are helpful, like maybe you should change the text color and that kind of stuff. So if you can push it out to a crowd, you can get some good feedback.
Yeah, I feel like I learned the cover lesson accidentally because my cover designer is Regina Wamba, and she did such a good job with clicks, and it's recognizable even super, super tiny, as Misty knows, because she made me a beautiful necklace that's not much bigger than my thumb, and you can still totally tell what book it is. And I didn't even think about that when we were talking about it. She just came up with it, and we realized how well it worked that way.
Yeah, I mean, the readability in thumbnail is one of those things that a lot of people don't think of, but when you're on Amazon, that's what you got usually before you click away.
Yeah, I agree with that.
All right, let's show Amy Evans's pick. You want to present this one?
Yeah, I'm happy to. This is Complete Nothing. It's the second True Love book by Kieran Scott. It's not an indie book. It's about Greek gods, and I love it because I'm partial to silhouettes on the cover. I think it's a nice happy medium of where you can show something that's romantic but not give people too much information. This is about gods and goddesses and a goddess that's out, tossed out from Mount Olympus, and I think we've seen a lot of books like that, and I love them, but I think that this really sets itself off from the market a little bit, and I think that this is a good way to draw in people who might not read Gods and Goddesses, but they'll read this because it looks romantic, and then it looks like there's a little more than something going on. It doesn't look like a typical high school novel, so I think it achieved that goal. And I just, I think it's really simple and really clean, and it really draws you in. I think the font could be a little bit more legible at the tiny size, but at the big size, it's really lovely, and I love the work.
Yeah, I did have to when you sent me this because I got a really small thumbnail. And this isn't the best quality version either, but it's what I could find online because it's not out yet. Um, but I did find some problems with the readability, especially the author name. I had to figure it. I had to squint and go, oh, that might be Scott, and then Google and hope I found it. But what I really love about these silhouettes is that they're almost silhouettes. You can still see some photographic detail, but it's enough to leave the face open to interpretation so people can kind of picture. They get to keep their mind's eye instead of picturing that guy who was on the cover. So that's
what kind of book is that? Is that a like a Prince Charming book?
No, it's a young adult exiled Greek god book.
Because it looks like Prince Charming, kind of, you know?
Yeah, I think it's mythology. That's why I kind of like it. Like, I'm drawn to things that don't give it all away, but I know that there's a big risk with that in publishing, and I kind of admire the author and Simon & Schuster for kind of not making it super obvious, and I hope that that works out really well for them. Like I said, I know it's a risk. Like, it can be much easier to make it really obvious, and, you know, like, I always think of the Goddess Girls books. They're more middle grade than YA, but they show these, like, really cute girls in togas, and they all have different personalities, and guess what? You know exactly what that is. So, but it's been fun.
Yeah.
Very true.
All right, so we have prepared a list of 10 stock questions that we're going to, we might switch some of these out, but they're going to be our, like, hot seat questions for every guest. And so we've got this list. Let's see how many of these we can run through. So, Misty, you're in the hot seat now. What is your favorite candy?
Good and Plenty's.
Ooh, I love those.
I love those too. I'm a candy freak, though. I will not turn down candy ever. Ever.
Me too.
You like black licorice. I know that's usually a hit or miss with people.
Yes.
All right. Well, tell us about your first kiss. Who was it, and what were the circumstances?
Actually, it was a really good first kiss. I was kind of a cougar. I think the kid was like 6 months younger than me. We were like, I don't know, 12. I don't know. I don't even know how old I was, but I do remember it was the perfect circumstances. We were on my friend's, like, kind of rooftop patio thing, and it was moonlight, and everything was perfect, and I just remember thinking, I wish that I was in love with this person. I wish that this was, like, the right person or something, you know, something not just like, oh, I'm going to kiss him. Yay!
I don't know. That takes some of the pressure off, you know, like, by the time you do find that person you're in love with, you're like, I've done this before. I can totally handle it. It's still a whole new experience.
But it was a great first kiss, so.
You cradle robber, you.
I was.
Are you still friends with him on Facebook?
No. In fact, his brother got a hold of my mom a while ago. His brother, just out of the blue, I guess, you know, looking for the past history. Because I grew up with these boys. I grew up with them, and I mean, I think I was always kind of a tomboy because I had a lot of boys. Well, we had a lot of girls on the street too, but I grew up with these boys. So one of them came back looking, you know, for just what had happened to everybody on the street and stuff, you know, touching base. But I didn't get a chance to talk to him or anything.
All right. So what was your favorite childhood cartoon?
Oh, Bugs Bunny with the Abominable Snowman. You know, I will hug him and love him and call him George. That is my favorite. I don't know. He just is.
All right. So before you started writing, what was your day job?
Oh, I've done a lot of stuff. The last one before I started writing full-time, I was the daycare provider, as you can see from my basement. See? It's like Blue's Clues and stuff down here still, which we haven't changed it partly because, you know, I'm lazy and partly because I kind of like it. But I was a preschool teacher and daycare provider.
I like the
and before that, I was a technical writer, so it kind of works, you know.
That's a big jump.
Yeah.
I have to say, I have done the preschool thing too, so definitely not uncommon. So what is your favorite young adult book?
Oh, gosh, Speak by Lori Halls Anderson, I think
I love
is her name.
Yeah,
Oh,
I just got
man.
chills.
I just read. Oh, did you guys read Winter Girls? I just read that. And it's
Is that the one
disturbing
about
and
the twins?
heartbreaking. No, it's about anorexia. It's
The books are
heartbreaking.
so hard, so important.
Yeah, I did speak in a college young adult literature class, but I just got done talking about that for Banned Book Week, actually, because it's been banned. Some people have found it erotic, which is weird because the one sexual thing is half a sentence of rape. And then some local mother, or what, it wasn't relevant to her daughter, which, I have some UN statistics to show her if she's unsure about that. But yeah, very heartbreaking, fantastic book.
It's so frightening something like that is such a useful book, and it promotes understanding, and I'm 100% behind that, of promoting just understanding between people, and it just amazes me, and it's hurtful when somebody goes after a book like that is so useful to our whole society,
I feel like that is why people go after books, though. Not because they don't want things that are useful, but because the books that are most useful are often most scary. And they think that they can protect their children or their students or their congregation or whoever it is they think that they need to protect from the book, but the book is just a reflection of reality.
Yeah, but protection is education, and
100%.
That's just...
And the thing about banned books is that, there's no better way to get a person to read a book than telling them they're not allowed.
That's a good point.
Yeah, and I think the thing about Speak is, it's valuable to the victims who learn that they need to speak up if something happens, and that's the way to heal. It's valuable to the community to understand that it's not their fault and to support them, and it's valuable to the young men sitting in class who may not understand that too drunk to fight you is too drunk to consent. So... Yeah. The fact that it's being banned from certain schools when it has so much value, it's a problem that affects 1 in 5 women worldwide and in America. It's not something that we should just brush under the rug and pretend it doesn't happen and go la 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 la, because it's not going to go away just by doing that.
Definitely.
All right, let's.
If you had to cast yourself in the movie of your life, who would play you?
Oh, I know this one. It'd be Jennifer Lawrence, because I think that she is just as goofy as I am. It's like...
He's a delicious goofball, and so are you. I agree with that.
My gosh. It's like, if I could be like her. But it's like, it seems like she says what's on her mind, and I get in trouble for that a lot because I have a really good heart, and almost everything I say, I would say 99.9% of it should be either read on Facebook while laughing or laughing while talking to me, but stuff comes out of my mouth and then I go, oh, I don't think that came out like I meant it, So.
Well, I think you're one of those people that once people know you, they 100% know that, and if they don't know you, they're like, wait, you're like, okay,
yeah,
but you make people think when you talk to them, which is a good thing, but scary for a lot of people.
Yeah, that's. Well, I used to have no filter here, and that was a big problem. And now I got a little tiny bitty filter there, so still a big problem. I usually swear like a sailor, but I am holding it back, girls, holding it back.
Well, that's refreshing. I live in the South where people just say mean things and then tack "bless his heart" onto the end to excuse it. So
yes,
yeah. He's dumb as a post. Bless his heart.
The South.
Yeah. All right, so this segues conveniently into the next question. In the movie of your life, who would play your love interest?
I don't know. I was thinking some unknown actor. I am such a, rah-rah for the unknown actors. I don't know if you guys are, but it's like, I don't know. How far back in history can I go? Because, De Niro, when he was in Godfather, and he played, the young Godfather... Whoa.
Yeah, this is your show. You can say anything you want. You can maneuver time. It's malleable in your world.
Yeah, but then you look at De Niro now, and you're like, what? What? And, and then there's these young guys that I feel like I'm old, And it's like, I don't feel right saying, oh, I like this one when, you know, it's creepy. I've already, as I told you, I've already had my time, you know, as a cougar. It's like with my first kiss. But, and then there's, have you guys seen Lost?
Oh, Ian Somerhalder?
Lost, the show on TV, Lost?
She's jumping right to the dreamy actor that she would cast as her love interest, Ian
Wait a minute, which one are you
Somerhalder.
picking, Amy? Amy Evans,
What?
which one are you picking?
Ian Somerhalder.
Oh, is that which? Yeah, but I don't know him by his name. I think he's.
Vampire Diaries boy.
Yeah.
All I remember is Richard. Richard with the eyes. My God.
Yeah. The
Yeah,
bright
Was
blue
it
eye.
Richard on Lost? I don't remember. He died so early on.
Richard? No.
No, okay. Ian Somerhalder died in he was like the first death, but
Yeah,
Richard.
no, it's somebody else. I'm looking it up for you.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I know who. Ian Summer.
He was
Booth.
Boone.
Oh, you like Booth? No. Look up Richard.
I liked Boone, but I was in high school, so
Is it Boone or Booth? I don't even remember. It's been a while.
yeah. I was in high school, and then
I like him. He publicly defends his girlfriend on Twitter, and he's big time into defending sharks and the environment, and he saves puppies, and he's beautiful.
Yeah, his girlfriend is an Academy Award-winning screenwriter, and there are a bunch of girls dissing on her because she's his girlfriend, and they're jealous, and he just told them off. It was pretty nice and refreshing.
He's the chick from Twilight.
Yeah. He was just like, she's a wonderful person, and you don't know her, so shut up.
Good for him. I'm liking him more and more now.
Yep. All right, so while we're figuring out who Richard is, what's your favorite animal?
Anything with fur on it.
Anything with fur on it.
Yeah, I'm easy.
All right. What's your favorite music to write to?
I would say alternative, but it's kind of across the board. I don't know. It's weird. It kind of finds me as I go along, because I start writing and I'm more I look at the lyrics first and then I listen to the music, and if the lyrics have to kind of fit for me, and then the music has to kind of fit. And,
So what's on your playlist this week?
oh gee whiz, Jungle is on. I think that's the first one. I think it's called Reason is the second one. There's a lot of ones that click click boom, click click boom. Oh my gosh. So much fun. Don't make me.
Here is our last question. You've almost made it to the end of the 10 by 10. Tell us a corny joke.
Oh my God, I am a corny joke. I don't have corny jokes. Isn't this enough? I mean, hello. It's corny joke.
You did daycare. I'm sure you've got something the kids all giggled at.
Oh yeah, boogers. Ha! That's all I say.
I know. I taught at a preschool that had to ban the use of the word butt because it just dissolved into a fit of 18 children giggling.
Exactly.
I thought you were going to say that was your high school. The high
No,
school.
preschool. It was
Pretty
sit
much
on
the
your
same thing,
bottom.
though, right?
We had to say bottom because butt was just too much for a bunch of 4-year-olds to handle.
Oh boy.
We like bum in my house. We pretend we're British when it comes to that word because it's slightly less more offensive.
Oh, we like all of them.
Bum. All right, so we are almost to the end, but I don't know, Amy, if you have any other questions you'd like to ask Misty about her book, so we can give it. I'm going to put it up on the screen one more time. So that's the wrong thing. There we go, so that everybody can see Hail Mary. You can get it now. It's available. Go on Amazon, Misty Provencher.
Woo-hoo! I would like to know if you have a running theme through all your books. We've talked about they're all a little bit different. They're slightly different genres, each story to your brain and your heart. What is that thing that links your writing together?
It's that understanding thing that we were talking about, because I think that every single book, I feel like somebody's misunderstood in there, or somebody I have this big thing about accepting people and understanding people, just wanting to. And I feel like in so many things that, like, I think I stumble sometimes in my narrative because I want so bad for the bad guy to be understood so much. And I want, you know, like, because I don't believe that anybody's really bad. I mean, well, there's a couple, but it's like, I think that for the most part, I mean, people have things that drive them, you know, and it's just where they're at that moment or what they thought at that moment, but it's not really who they are, or, you know, I just think it's misunderstandings a lot.
So you're trying to...
See, I think that's important to have villains that come from a very human place, even when they're, you know, the bad guy or the bully, rather than like being like a Japanese video game where they just bust out and they're like, I'm a bad guy, would you like to eat this baby? Or
Did you just say that?
clearly one of these is the good choice and one of these is the bad choice.
You want to eat this baby?
Yes,
Or
please.
the orphan.
Ketchup. I need ketchup.
Oh my God, where is this going?
Yeah.
I'm sure that Amy E. I interrupted a more insightful and less bizarre comment.
I don't think we
Yeah,
could have lived without
I was going
this.
with the baby eating demons too. No, actually, what I was gonna say was that I've had the pleasure of meeting Misty a couple of times, and I remember the first time that I met you, I was just sort of blown away with how friendly you were. And then I sort of expected the next time I met you, which was only a night later, but still, for you to somehow be like less friendly, and you were even more friendly. And so I think that you probably try to see that in regular people, and so I can definitely imagine you trying to see the best in your villains as well. I think that's awesome.
Amy, shut up! It's like, I came in, when I saw you at Utopia this year, it's like, what do I hear but Amy screaming my name across the thing, and I'm just like, who is that? And it's Amy Evans, and I'm like gonna scream her name, but she's like yelling over me, and it's like, you've got to be one of the nicest people I've ever met. I mean,
Thank you. But that was the third time I met you.
I know, but it's like, but I was shocked that you even remembered me. It's like, and you're screaming, and I'm like, I want to scream at you. You're just, I love you. I love you. And then when we were talking about nails, that just, I was like, oh, I'm in love with you.
Okay, now Misty's going to embarrass me. Okay.
Speaking of
Yeah, see,
Utopia,
I don't have a filter either.
speaking of Utopia, are y'all signed on for next year already?
100%.
Yes, ma'am.
Excellent. I will be there as well, helping
Yahoo! You
my
guys,
sister-in-law's cover services.
Awesome. And you guys, Misty and I are going to be causing some trouble in Cincinnati before then at Queen City IndieCon.
yes, we are.
What weekend is that?
October 24th.
October 24th. All right, you guys heard it here. Go find them at Queen City IndieCon, October 24th.
Woohoo!
Yay.
All right, so we're getting to the wrap-up. At the very end, I'm going to announce the winner of the giveaway, and then we'll get you in touch with Misty so you can get your choice of Hail Mary or Full of Grace. I fired up the random number generator, and I'm about to hit run on it, so make sure you tweet with that YA Hangout hashtag one more time if you want to increase your chances. But we have the next show date for YA Hangout is October 28th with Stacey O'Neill. So October 28th. And then on the 7th of October, I will be Amy Jones's guest on YA Podcast, rescheduling my appearance for my book because we had some major technical difficulties last time. Let's see, does anybody have any personal plugs they want to give for anything they're working on, any new releases? Obviously, go buy Misty Provencher's book, Hail Mary, get it now.
I had a kind of an interesting opportunity to join a box set called At First Sight, and it's actually new adult paranormal. And Clicks is in there because when I originally wrote it, it was new adult. There, of course, was no such thing as new adult, blah-de-blah-de-blah. The same as a lot of people have found that way. And because of the subject matter, I did switch it to young adult, but they invited me in and gave me a little room to play and show off what that book might have been if it was new adult. It doesn't change much. It's a little bit more serious in places, but it was really fun to think about, and it's been a fun thing to sort of see people's reactions to.
How cool is that?
It's really cool. So the box set's called At First Sight. It's me and 7 other awesome, amazing new adult paranormal authors, but it's actually all very sweet new adult. It's not. I think it's what the market's expanded a little bit. So it's not. None of it's really. It's all like upper YA more than like what you think about when you hear new adult. But of course, new adult changes every day.
Go Amy. Go Amy.
We do have a tweet in here from My Book Addiction that says that Richard from Lost is Nestor Carbonell. And
He's got the ugliest name in the world. But
it is not a very pretty name. Oh, yes.
He's beautiful. He's like Hispanic.
I know. We never have to talk. We never have to say his name. He can just sit there.
He used to be on the Brooke Shields show. Oh my God, Suddenly Susan. I can't remember his name on Lost, but I can remember that show. It was like 100 years ago.
And apparently he was a recurring character in the new Batman series because he's in 2 of the movies.
Is he really?
Yeah, I think he might have been the DA if I recognize him correctly. I don't know. He's cute.
Nestor.
All right. Nestor. Yeah. So my plug for today is going to be I'm starting a Kickstarter on Sunday for the Olympia Heights comic, and I've got the ugly Google graphic there up on the bottom for the URL to sign up for the mailing list. Olympia Heights, my young adult series, is going to be made funding willing into a comic. Brother Sam Albro is the artist, so Sunday look for me tweeting and Facebook posting frantically, being like, please back this project. There's going to be free art and comics and books and all sorts of things to get from it.
That's awesome, Amy.
Go, Amy.
Oh, and I just like to add for the level of clarification, we all think it's really amusing that this is like Amy Jones and Amy Lee Strickland and myself, but you guys can just use our last names because otherwise it gets a little bit confusing.
Yeah.
We should have mentioned that.
You should just come up with weird spy handles.
Yeah, I'm okay with being Evans, and you can be Strickland, and Amy Jones is okay with being Jones, and we're just going to make Donna Elizabeth change her name again.
She has to be an Amy too, one of us.
You're bored.
All right, so let me hit a few keystrokes here on the number generator and make sure I've got through. Okay. Send. And it looks like our winner is, we have My Book Addiction, Tony Book Addict on Twitter. So, at Misty Provencher, send her a direct message, or we'll get her the thing and she can send you a message. We'll hook you up. You'll get your book. Thank you for tweeting with us tonight. She also, the comment that actually won is just added Speak by Halsey Anderson to my TBR because of YA Hangout with Misty Provencher, Amy S., and Amy L. Strickland. Thanks for the rec. So that was a nice tweet for the winning. Yeah. So join us on October 28th for Stacey O'Neill. Thank you for being with us today, Misty.
Oh, gosh, my gosh. Thank you guys so much for having me. It's like, loose.
You were awesome. When they told me that you were our first guest, I was jumping up and down because it took a little bit of the nerves away. I know how awesome you are to talk to and how much you would have to say, so thank you.
Yes, we need someone who's awesome and has some fans and is, like, really good to talk to. Oh, my God, Beagle. Beagle.
Beagle!
Oh, where's the Beagle?
There is a Beagle behind me, and he's being adorable.
Definitely think we should bring the Talk to Your Pets segment onto this show.
Oh, my God, we need to. He's just rubbing himself on things. Okay.
I almost did. My cat, she left. And so Larry's down here. Do you guys want to see Larry?
Yeah, we totally want to see Larry.
Strickland already saw Larry. Larry!
Oh, my goodness.
Larry!
Oh!
There's Larry.
Hey, Larry, Katie the pug. You can't even see her because she's so incognito.
Oh, look at her.
I would have to go digging under my desk now for Linus, but we will see more of him in future shows. All right. Well, I think we can't
end on pug tonight.
Cute animals. So with that, good night, viewers, and please join us on October 28th.
Woohoo! Thanks again.